Hello, YouTube. It's time for some Black Thought. It's a beautiful, what day is it? Thursday morning. Just got done doing deadlifts. I'm feeling good. And today, I would like to attempt to demystify challenge quests. For some background, and I'm in the process of boarding 8, by the way. So that'll be your background while I talk. So feel free to tune out. Not about the gameplay, it's about what I'm trying to say. Anywho, for some background, as some of you or most of you probably know, challenge quests is a little loud. Challenge quests are a recent addition to the Japanese version of the city of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, and they are quests that award you a burst token upon completion. And the criteria for completion is completing all the requirements of the stage while also bringing along 3 synergy characters. Now, at first glance, a lot of us, me included, figured this was probably pay to win, whale bait, etc., saying, "Oh, you got a pull to do these. We're gonna make you a pull to feel the sting of not completing things," and that is definitely not far from the truth. I'd say my things I might not have pulled on and I might have considered skipping around on, I probably pulled a bit more than I expected, just due to the feeling of not completing something, but only when I was in a reasonable spot or if I was interested in the character. For example, I think I'm going to be walking through the challenges I've completed to complete a point I'll be making later, but I think the only time I didn't feel like pulling on something to do a challenge was the Machina banner and the, what was it called? I think it was Vivi, Leon, and Arciella. I didn't pull on that one either. So that was a period of challenge quest I didn't do. But anyways, so let me pull up this clutch planner. I mean, shout out to Ink. I'm out in the forecast all the time. Tomberry Troop, shout out to y'all. Because he's got the burst error forecast. So let me start. Or I was trying to make a point before, but basically, it's actually not too terrible if you don't complete it, because it's pretty much the normal chaos stage but without a friend unit. And that's really it. I mean, it's encouraged me to use synergy more often, I'll say. And that's been a refreshing change of pace. And at first, the very first challenge quest was stupid. It was like, I think I had to use like Squall, Orin, and Kate. Kate was the only healer on the banner, so it was really just kind of tragic. And the boss HP attacked a lot, which was messy. But aside from a couple other cancer challenges, it hasn't actually been too bad. So I'm gonna walk through these as examples of what I had to do. So Squall burst. Squall, Orin, Kate is what I used, but you didn't have to use Squall. Garland. I can't read and do content at the same time. This is good. Garland, Warrior Light, who everyone has. I use Garland because I like him, and I think I use, Squall or Sephiroth too? Amida Teld, I don't know how to say that name. I used Lael, Squall, Garland, Toto I pulled there. Porum, Toto, Aiko, I think it was 0 to 3. Ulti, I used Ulti, Squall, Toto. Dash, I did Ulti, 0 to 3 Onion Knight, and what's it called? And Toto. Gabranth, I used Gabranth, Vaughn, Lena. Machina, I skipped because I didn't want to pull. Same with the Winter campaign with Leon, Vivi, and Arciella. Ultimate Odin, I pulled Noctis, Cecil, Irvine. Bosch, I pulled Bosch, Vaughn, Noctis, I think it might have been. 9, I had Fujin, Bosch, Noctis. If you've seen a pattern here, what usually ends up happening for me is that I'm kind of just pulling on the lost chapters generally, and that sets me up for the following event. And I've also been pulling on the LD banners. So I'd say if you're really trying to knock out the challenge quest, two things are important. And let me pop this book right quick. This is Mog Pass points and max rank. So if you're curious about that too, here you go. But basically, if you're interested in doing the challenge quest, which you shouldn't feel the need to do, because the drip of burst tokens is incredibly slow. I'd say you're best off. Eight is pretty sick with these claws, man. I'd say you're best off pulling first on the featured LD character for that month. So like Squall. I'm also, by the way, I'm boarding Death just because I want him in my pocket. Oh, they didn't kill you, huh? That's crazy. Yeah, pull on that main character who has a burst featured because they're gonna be synergy for the rest of the month. That move doesn't have it does have okay. Yeah, that'll carry you pretty well, I've found. And that's generally the strategy. So I pulled for Squall. I pulled for Toto. I pulled for Vaughn. I pulled for Noctis. I'm just going through all the characters. I didn't get all their bursts. I got lucky with some of them, but the burst isn't necessary. Like I didn't get Vaughn. I got Noctis. I got Arden. Well, I didn't get a couple, didn't I? Yikes. And then after that, I tended to pull for the lost chapter character that followed after. So the burst character featured in all of them was synergy for what's it called? 3 events, I believe. And the lost chapter was featured for the lost chapter and the following event after. That's just been very good for me so far. But pulling on those exclusively isn't enough to do the challenge generally. 8's damage is not great if you're not getting attacked. I never thought about that. Because let's say you're somebody thinking, oh, I'm saving. This is my main point of my rant. Kind of. Let's say you're somebody saving, like, oh, I'm saving for burst era. Then I don't know what to do. Well, a lot of the pulls I did pre-burst era, I came back to help me on these challenge quests. Like, I already had Kate built for the Squall raid. So I pulled Orin there and Squall's LD, so I was good. I didn't have to back up on any resources. Like, my life was just made easier. Let's see. For Ami, I had I had Lael already, and I had Squall from the what's it called, Burst Banner, and I had Garland because I like him, and I pulled him Lost Chapter. But I also had Deuce in my pocket. I didn't pull on Ami. I thought she was ugly. For Toto, I already had Toto's EX, and she was 0 out of 3, and I pulled her LD and built her there. I had Aiko already, and I pulled Porum there, and I was doing well. I think you're seeing a pattern here. Like Ulti, I had her LD, I had Squall, and I had Toto from before. Gabranth, I had Lena, I had Vaughn's LD, I pulled for that, and I pulled for Gabranth, and I was good for that period too. I mean, it doesn't really get really much more difficult than that. I mean, it's a combination of stuff you already had, plus what you want to build on. So the whole, oh, I'm afraid of dupes thing, I think is a little short-sighted, because pulling on banners and getting, it's the same thing with like Dimensions End, where we're like, get a diverse roster. Like the same thing kind of applies to challenge quests, but in a different way. Like you want a wide roster, not necessarily covering roles, but you just kind of want to have people in general to help you do these. And like I said, they're not necessary, but it's nice to have. But don't feel like, oh, eternal shame of noob status because I didn't do challenge quests, because that's also hella short-sighted. But again, the only ones I haven't done so far have been Machina, which required Rem, Sid, Von, or Rem, Sid, Von, or Machina. Duh. Um, I haven't done that. I didn't do the RCLO one with the rerun with Leon and Vivi because I didn't feel like pulling there. I didn't feel like farming Vivi's arts. And I had Vaughn and RC were not a good enough combination to carry that stage. It was too long, I found. Other than that, I think I've done a lot of the quests already. I mean, part of that is due to some luck. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. But, oh, wow, she's gone. Yikes. Can you believe I pulled fucking 400 tickets and didn't get a single King 35? That's crazy. But yeah, challenge quests are not that bad, and I hope that the people who are saving up till burst era, there's definitely going to be something newer at the time. And honestly, what I watch out for is I saw a lot of people who were saving really hard, who were like massive gem counts in JP. I saw a lot of those dudes who were only pulling for meta. I saw them quit because they, for one, chaos becomes a lot more manageable once burst era starts, and really for a couple months, probably a while, you could just face roll everything with like Ami, Kais, and Afmao, and that's a really boring way to play. And they're like, oh, I gotta save, and then you use the same team so much when you see these like varied team compositions everywhere and everyone doing the challenge, and you start feeling bad because you're used to having a stash, but you'd feel bad if you're letting it go, but you also don't want to pull. So I hope people don't fall into that trap in global because a lot of people might just straight up quit, and that's no fun. For real, for real. I mean, as a whole, I wasn't enjoying the burst era stuff that much. At least record. I wasn't. I use that skill again. I need to learn how to do 8. Jesus. It's just been interesting. I don't know, man. I don't know. Challenges aren't that bad. Just if you've been pulling and playing like a normal human and not shots fired, and you have a decent wide roster, like you should be able to max some people just for the challenge quest and not feel too bad because it's fun to have people. It's fun to mix it up. And like I said, I'm free to play. Well, actually, no. I'm not free to play anymore because I bought the Mog Pass twice because I'd be working too much and I just wanted to wind down these boards. So I bought the Mog Pass twice. So I can't say free to play, by the way, anymore. But the gems you get from the Mog Pass aren't significant enough to matter. So anyways, like even without Foresight, without wailing hard, I've done pretty much. Look at those potions. I've only missed 2 challenge quests. I pulled like a normal human. My gem counts was in the 300s until I had the Pity Warrior Light burst. 300,000s. And again, some of it's obviously due to luck, but challenge quests really aren't that bad. Don't chase burst weapons. It's going to be very interesting, especially one of the reasons I'm recording this video. I don't know to use 8. Jesus. One of the reasons I'm recording this especially is because I will love to see where the game is where the Japanese version is. If I'm still playing, God bless. Where the Japanese version is when Global gets to the burst era. Because, again, there's always going to be that new thing. Always going to be that new thing. Like, oh, I'm saving for this. And Squall is already getting underhyped in Global, sadly, because he was the first burst. And he's good. I mean, I could still use him in content. It's just Noctis and Arden are really broken. But on that same token, I haven't used Noctis since he stopped being Synergy. Because he got boring to me. Like, I maybe different strokes for different strokes for different folks, fam. I don't know. But I don't like using the same characters on every stage. Like, meta's cool, like, if you get stuck and all. But people should for real be focusing on learning how the game works, because with this trend towards the new Lufenian difficulty, I think it's how you say it, it looks like they're focusing more on boss mechanics and countering things, which is creep in like the lateral direction, which I'm actually a huge fan of, because just throwing Noctis, Amidatelli, and whoever at stuff isn't the best, most fun way to do stuff. It seems more geared to anti-cheese. And to all you goofballs saying, "Oh, these stages are easy. 8 soloed it." No, no, no. Stop. Stop. We just have tools. Just because you can use a specific character on a stage does not make it easy. Don't. I almost ran Panda again. That I wasn't not paying attention. Jesus Christ. Rip this book. I would have been done with this by now if I wasn't talking. But I don't know, man. Don't trip about challenge quests. It's not as bad as you think. You can do it if you have a decent roster spread out. Like, let me keep walking through it. I'm rambling at this point, but I'm trying to get information out there. Yeah, Olden I ran. I had Noctis. 9, I had Fujin, Bosch, Noctis. Arden, I had Arden, Lily, Alphino. Oh, please. Man, oh man. If I see y'all skipping the Alphino last chapter so you can pull him on Arden, I will have an aneurysm. Please don't do that to me. I like my brain. Alphino is really good. Please don't say like, oh, Ida falls off fast. No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. Stop that nonsense. Shoot, Kefka. I did Kefka, Aerith, 0 to 3 Freya. I already had Freya and Aerith EX, so I only had to pull Kefka, and that was cool. Like, God. Strago, I pulled Realm there, but I had Emperor already, and I pulled his LD, and it's just... Like, I get that the pities happen, but people make it out to be kind of like, oh, I pity every banner, everything is the worst. I need to have what I need. No, you don't. No, you don't. I'd like to say I have average luck. And yeah, I've had some luck sex, but then I've had some terrible pities, like I got Warrior Lights Burst at 480 G tokens. And then I had to pity his LD and get a book. I'm not paying attention. It just happens, y'all. Like, for real. It's a game. And I get you enjoy what you enjoy, but if you spread it out now in the EX Plus era before Burst, I think you'll be better off. Because feeling that shame of not being able to do the challenge quests, because some of y'all are completionists, might really hurt real bad. And I'd hate for that to happen to people. But I've seen it happen in Japanese version already. And I'm trying to help people avoid that. But who knows? Who knows? I think I've ranted enough. I plan on doing a video on my thoughts on 8 for global later today, but I'm working late, so that might not happen. I don't know. Who cares? Yeah, I think I've rambled enough. I need to go get ready for work. If you have any questions about challenges or whatever, leave a comment. Some of y'all with a million gems need to spend a bit more. You're just going to feel bad once the burst era and challenge quests hit. And you'll get the itch. You will get the itch. You'll either get the itch to pull or you're going to quit. More than likely, unless your fortitude is supreme. But other than that, I know y'all got ingots. I know y'all got gems. I know y'all got tickets. I know you're preparing for the worst, but it's a game. Have a little fun. But if that's the way to play, I mean, we'll see when we get there. How about that? And on that note, thanks for listening to me ramble. I'm going to finish this book and then mess around with 8 some. Blame Strife. I wouldn't plan on pulling this. It's not my fault. Alright, y'all. Peace. Have a good one.